morning everyone, how are you getting on? A few calves here left, the last of the youngest calves, only about 6. I think they're leaving this week. Out here we also have the youngest of the heifers and the bulls. So the heifers will be leaving on Saturday, going to contract rear, and the bulls will be staying here. So we have started into breeding season. We start breeding on the 1st of May. So that will give us a planned start of the 8th of February. But usually cows will start calving before that. You'll have ones that come a bit early. You'll have ones that have shorter gestation bull. So we are going to be breeding for 10.5 weeks, 72 days in total. And we'll be doing all AI. Myself and my dad do the AI, and we will have the vasectomized bulls. We'll be running them with the cows to help with heat detection. They're not with them at the moment because for the first 3 weeks there's enough activity amongst the cows, so we don't really need them. But once the first 3 weeks are over and we get into the second round of cycling, then we will run the vasectomized bulls to help with the heat detection. Normally we don't do any pre-breedings, we don't do any tail painting or monitoring of cows before the breeding season. We normally just tail paint the cows on the 30th of April and we start breeding on the 1st. So for those who don't know how tail paint works, is we put a coloured paint on we use a crayon, I'll show you that later. We put it on the back of the cow on her tailbone, and when she is on heat, when she's bulling, other cows will mount up on her and she'll stand and it'll rub off the paint, and then so we can see when the paint is gone, they're bulling. Are you coming bulling? Fortunately, a couple of weeks ago we had a bull break in, so we tail painted the cows ahead of time. We tail painted them pink just to see if we could identify if that bull had got any of the cows. So I'm in the parlour here now. I've got some pallets set up by the platform so I can watch the cows. I can look at the cows here. I can see paint's gone off this one, so I'll draft her for AI, and I can top up paint if I think it needs to be topped up. There's a pink one, there's an orange one, so she hasn't cycled yet. This one you can see worn there a bit. There's a bit of paint left on her, but you can't really see on camera. She looks very worn here and there, so I know she's been mounted. So these are the crayons that we use. They're all-weather paint stick. They're from the USA. We like these, they work pretty well for us. Rather than most people would use a kind of more of a paint in a bottle. But we find these crayons work very well. Here in our AI room, we're just beside the crush out there. It's just below there. So we got our flask here with our straws in it. I'll try to open it up here. So our straws are inside there. They're in liquid nitrogen to keep them frozen. So semen's in there, it's frozen in liquid nitrogen. And they're kept in there. Up here we have written up which sections each of the different bulls are in, the different straws, and we'll have all them in the folder. We'll know who's getting what, and then we can when the cows come in, we can pick out the straws. We have our flask here. This is for holding water, keeps it at 0.5 degrees I think, body temperature, the flask. So we put the straw to get out of the liquid nitrogen where it's frozen and into the warm water, so it quickly thaws out, and then the semen's good to go. We can load it into our AI gun. Then we got our sheets here. They go over the gun when it's going into the cow, and obviously our AI gloves then. So we got all our stuff in here in our AI room. We load up our straws, because when you load up your straw you got to use it up straight away. So just talk a little bit about our breeding strategy. We will be breeding for 72 days or 10.5 weeks. We'll do all AI. We won't run any bulls apart from our vasectomized bulls to help with heat detection, but there will be no bulls running. We'll do all AI for breeding. For the first 3 weeks of breeding, or 24 days, just over 3 weeks, we will be doing dairy AI and beef AI. So the bottom 30 or 35% of the herd, they will be getting all beef straws. We won't be breeding any replacements from then, and then the rest of them will be getting dairy AI, and they'll be selected. The bull will be selected best suited to those cows. The top 20% of the herd then will be getting sect semen, so they're more likely then to have a heifer calf rather than a 50-50 chance of a heifer or bull. So then after the 3 weeks, then everybody, regardless of what cows they are, they will get beef straws. So that would mean that all our replacement heifers will be born, and they'll be 8 weeks old, so we can have them weaned off milk and gone to the contract year before we start breeding again next year. I will put up on my Instagram the bulls we are using this year. I'll probably put it up on my story and maybe save it as a highlight, so it will be there. I still have to do that. I'll write them out and put them up there so people can use the bull, can see what bulls we're using on the herd this year. That'll be all for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you have not already, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.